Hey everybody, hope everyone can see and hear me okay. We are going to be embroidering shoelaces. Okay, I'm actually going to do this live with you guys. I have all the stuff ready and I was able to even fix a little bit on my computer. I'm actually going to be doing this on the single needle machine on the Brother SC1900. I'll do a separate video on how to do this on the Brother 1055 X. It should be easier to do it on that multi-needle machine because it has a scanning capability, okay? But the Brother SC1900 doesn't have this capability, so I figured this would be the perfect time for us to try out to embroider shoelaces on this machine. That way we can kind of talk about some of the issues that we see or stuff that we have to do, okay? So anyway, you guys will need some shoelaces. These are shoelaces that I stole from my husband. He just bought a new pair of shoes, okay? And he has like these special shoelaces that he likes, but he just had these on the table, so I'm going to assume that he's not going to use them. But just in case he does decide to use them, what I'll do is I'll embroider our last name. That way, if he does need them, it's not a big deal. I didn't put anything girly on there and stuff like that. And he could still use them if he wants to, okay? So, these are regular shoelaces that came with his sneakers. I have 2 of them, okay? So, what I plan on doing is I want to embroider the edge of each of the shoelaces with his last name. You know, I got this idea off of Facebook. Brother has some kind of, I think, advertisement over their software called Aspire. I don't subscribe to that because I'm not big on the monthly subscriptions unless it's something that I really, really use. And, you know, it could turn into like a monthly bill, right? So when I saw that, how they did it, what it is the application actually does like the placement stitch where you actually lay down your shoelace and then you can go ahead and embroider on the shoelace. But when I saw that, I was like, there's no different than, you know, you really don't need those placement stitches if you have Embroidering software. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did, okay? So what I have Merle, and I don't know if I said it right. I think it's Merlot or Merle. Anyway, the patches module that's in Brilliance, okay? And, you know, it has the small fonts on there. So what I did was I used the Air Force Mini font, and then I just did Woods, right? I did our last name, and then what I did was I saved it on my USB. So this is how big it looks, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out and then I'm actually going to tape it on here, okay? And let me show you also what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using my 4x4 hoop, and I'm also going to be using sticky stabilizer on the 4x4. So I'm going to actually put the camera on so that you guys can see exactly what I do, how I do it. Actually, so you guys can watch me how I actually, like, you know, hoop the stabilizer, put the template on the shoelace and put the shoelace on the hoop and then put it on the machine and position it, okay? And then let's see how it goes. The other thing I'm actually going to do is, remember how I always say that when you're embroidering really small fonts, you should be using a 60 weight thread with a 65/9 size needle. So I'll have to change my needle. This is the 60 weight thread that I'm going to use. I'm just going to use plain black because I think the black will look nicely against the white shoelaces. And I'll have to change my needle to a 65/9. And these are the needles that I use. They're from Oregon. So I'm definitely going to have to change that because right now the needle that I have in the machine is a 75/11. Okay? So, all right. So let's go over to the cutting table and then I'm going to explain exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it and stuff so that you guys can see it firsthand, okay? And hopefully it comes out really nice, okay? Because I really thought that was a neat idea with the shoelaces, and especially like with kids, you know, if you have grandchildren or, you know, small toddlers and stuff, you know, just to make their sneakers kind of special and everything. I've seen some people take like regular sneakers, and what they do is they hand embroider a child's name on it. You know, you can also machine embroider them as well, but it can get kind of tricky because you have to know exactly how to hoop it correctly, and it can really shift because, you know, shoes are a pretty odd shape, right? But the shoelaces are really flat. So if you can't get, you know, get away with embroidering a shoelace, I think we're in a good spot. So I'm gonna take you over to the cutting board, okay? And let's do first things first, okay? So as you guys know, I do have my template, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut around it, and I'm gonna try to cut it as close to the words as I possibly can. And I'll show you guys how I do it. Okay, there you go. I got the word. Alright, so you guys see, this is how I have it. See, it's pretty small, okay? And then what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to take my little template, okay? And this is, you know, just a template that I used out of Embrilliance. But before I do that, you guys know I'm a neat crafter, right? So I have to throw this out because it's gonna bother me. All right, so let me put this in the garbage can. Okay, so now I'm back. Okay, so I have Scotch tape. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to take the shoelace, and I'm actually gonna measure maybe 1.5 inch. Okay, 1.5 inch from here all the way up. Okay, sorry, from here all the way up, just 1.5 inch. That way, you know exactly like where you're gonna put your word, right? So let's see, here's 1.5. There you go. I'm gonna put the name here. That's perfect. All right, hold on. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And I'm just going to take Scotch tape. And I'm going to put Scotch tape over the word and Woods on here. Okay, so it's a little crooked. I'm gonna fix it. But see, I just took the template and I taped it onto the shoelace. That's all I did. Now, as you can see, though, when I hold it up, it looks a little crooked, right? So, hold on. I'm just going to, let me just, well, does it really matter if it's a little bit crooked? Line? You want it to be as straight as possible. Jeanette, stop being sloppy. Okay, I'm not going to be sloppy. There you go. All right, perfect. I like that. Okay, I like where it is now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be embroidering Woods on this shoelace, okay? Now that I have the template on here and I just have it held with some Scotch tape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sticky stabilizer. And I had sticky stabilizer. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Okay, I got my sticky stabilizer. All right, and let me put this shoelace aside because this is the one we're going to embroider. And look, I just want to show you guys off. I did some 3D embroidering on a baseball hat, so I'm going to be mailing this over to Nancy, so it'll be in the mail tomorrow. This is a new font. It's a 3D font, and I used the variegated thread. So I like the way this came out. So if my sister's watching, it'll be in the mail tomorrow. You know, I kind of like it. It came out really cute. I gotta make one for myself. So anyway, okay. So I'm getting off getting off topic. Let me get on this. Okay, so don't need the scissor anymore. I don't need the sticky stabilizer anymore. I don't need my ruler right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my sticky stabilizer. I didn't peel it or anything. Let me bring you close. You're a little too far. Okay. All right, so let me just position you. Okay, here we go. So I got my sticky stabilizer. This is the shiny part that you peel, but this is how I usually do it. I put this on here, and then I put this here. Okay. Make sure I'm putting the top correct. And then I just put on the the hoop. I just snapped it in. I think I should have opened up the hoop a little more. Hold on, let me open this up a little more. Sometimes you gotta loosen it up a lot. Okay, here you go. Push it in. All right, I got it. It's in. It's nice. Let me tighten the hoop now because I don't want my stabilizer to slip. I don't want it to slip, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tighten it here. Okay, now this is something that I do whenever I'm using sticky stabilizer. Okay, I have a just take your seam ripper. Okay, it's just a regular seam ripper. And then what I do is I draw an X on here. You don't want to poke too hard, but you kind of want to score the paper on top. Okay, so I'm just gonna, and then I'm gonna pick. There you go. I'm done. Okay, so see how now I can pick, see? That's how I usually use my sticky stabilizer. And then I just should have put it away so quick. But that's usually how I do it. And then I just like pick it. So that way it's nice and pull out all this. I hope it comes out nice. We'll see. Okay, we'll see how it is. This is the first time I'm doing this too. Okay, guys, so you guys are really seeing this raw, because if I mess up, then I'm like, oops, that's not good. Okay, let me bring my garbage can over here. Okay, I always have like a little garbage can. Okay, so all right, so now as you can see, this is the part that has the sticky stabilizer. Okay, now behind me I have my USB, and this is the what has the file. So let's go over to the machine now with my 4x4 hoop. Okay, so I'm gonna roll you on over here, and we're going to, I have my hoop, my USB, and I need my shoelace that I have. Okay, so my shoelace here. Okay, so let me put the shoelace on the side here, okay? And the first thing I want to do is I'm using a 4x4 hoop on this machine. Now, as you know, this machine comes with a 5x7. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have selected the 4x4 hoop on the machine. So for those of you guys that don't know how to do that, okay, I'm going to go over here to my settings. Sorry, that's the paper, okay? Sorry, that's the paper. Oh, I already had it selected, okay? If you select here, it'll show you right here. And you can change your size of your hoop. But as you can see, well, you can't really see. Trust me, okay? It says 4x4. So I'm going to hit OK. All right, because that's what I'm using. All right. So I'm going to move this back a little bit, because what I want to do is, well, first I have to change my needle. Let's change my needle, and I have to change my thread on top. Okay. So I'm going to take out this thread that I have here. Okay. And when you're changing thread, something that, you know, please be careful of, always make sure that you are pulling your thread from the bottom, okay? Sometimes a lot of people, what they do is they'll cut their you know, they'll take the comb out from the top and then they pull it. When you do that, if you do that a lot of times, you can actually mess up your, you know, your discs in here, okay? So you don't want to do that. So always pull your thread from the bottom. I know that sometimes some people don't like doing it because they say, oh, I'm wasting thread. But the thing is, this is one thing that I tell you. I would prefer to waste thread than for the machine to go belly up on you, and then you're going to be spending more money. So always be, be mindful of that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my needle. And just a little tip also, I buy these by the bundle, okay? I buy like a whole bunch of 75. I have boxes galore, okay? So one thing that I usually do, okay, because you can easily end up opening one box and another box and stuff like that. What I usually do is I always mark a check on the box that I have opened, okay? That way I know that this is the box that I have already started using needles from, and then I don't have to like go and I can keep better track of my needle inventory, okay? Because you don't want it to be deceiving where you see all these boxes and then you think that they're all full and they're not, because you have been switching out, using needles here and there and stuff. So something that, something to be mindful of. And then, I'm sorry, I know I'm moving you around, but I got my little container here. And I always like to have my stuff in here, because what I have in here is I have a little pill box. This is also where I put all my dull needles in. So, because sometimes people are like, how can I dispose my my old needles? So usually what I'll do is, I'll grab an old pill box and stuff, just take out the personal information. And every time I'm changing out the needles on my multi-needle machines, and even on this one, and it's an old needle and I don't need it anymore, I always deposit it in here. Then when this gets full, I could just throw this whole entire item in the garbage. I don't have to worry about anybody getting hurt and stuff like that. So it's just an idea and stuff. So, all right, so I'm going to go, and enough with the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change out my needle for this. Get my little thing here, because I like to change it out. And I know I'm going to be looking all crunchy. Another thing that people usually tell me to do is take a little piece of fabric, put it underneath, and then turn this so that if your needle drops, it actually drops on the fabric or the piece of paper. You don't accidentally drop it inside the machine. So it's just another thing to be aware of. So this is an old needle because I've used it several times already, and I'm sure it's gotten all the sewing that it can possibly do for me. So I'm going to be putting this in the disposal, and I'm going to grab me a brand new 65 needle. And just to let you guys know also, in addition to the box where I mark a check, I also mark a check on the package that I opened last, okay? Because sometimes what happens is I don't use all the needles in there, right? I just need one or two from the pack. So I know that this already has less than 10 needles because I've already used it, because I have a check mark on here. So it's just a little way to stay a little organized, okay? So I'm going to take my one needle from here, put it on the napkin, then I'm going to put this away and put this in my box, and then this goes back with all the other needles because they're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right there for now. All right, so let me change out my needle. And I always even leave this in here while I'm changing the needle, even when I'm putting in the new needle, because sometimes you can accidentally drop the new needle, and you don't want to do that. So, all right, so let me just stick that in there. And I'm going to turn it. And nice and tight. Always make sure your needle is in there good. Make sure your needle is in there good, and make sure it's all the way at the top, okay? and stuff. So that way it doesn't fall out or anything. So now that my needle's changed, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to put this back. Okay, because you guys know I like to be neat because it's, you know, it's important, especially when I have such a small room and I have so much stuff. It's really important that everything has its place, right? Because that way I don't lose things. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So this is Madeira, and this is weight 60 thread. This weight, yeah, 60 weight thread. So I'm going to be using this. And let me put this on here. Okay. Do I have my little tab? I do. Alright, and then I'm going to put this on. Here we go. And it's in. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I can pull that out. There you go. Alright. Got my new needle in. Got my 60 weight thread in. So I'm good to go. Now I'm going to move my machine aside. I'm just going to push it back. Oops. Well, I don't need this because this was for sewing, so I don't need this right now. So I'm going to move this back a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and then I want to place my my shoelace on here. Now what I want to do is I just want to put it in the center as much as possible. If you don't have it exactly in the center, don't worry about it. We're going to move the design on the machine so that way you'll know exactly where you are embroidering, okay? So, let me see. So this is how it goes in the machine, like this. So I want it to go this way. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just place it on your sticky stabilizer. That's all you're going to do. Okay. Now to make sure that I hold it in place, okay, I just want to make sure that it doesn't shift or anything with me. I'm actually going to use Scotch tape on this as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Scotch tape here and here, okay, on the sides of it. So that way there's no shifting or anything, okay? So putting that on here, and then I'm just going to put just 2 small pieces. It's just to give it that extra support so it doesn't move. Okay. Now that I have that in there and it's like this, okay, let's go over to the machine. I'm going to put my USB in. Okay. Let's read it. Hasn't loaded yet. Okay. Uh-oh. Did it load? I hope I saved it on the USB. All right, let me see. Okay, it's not loading. Maybe I just gotta give it a shot a little bit to do that thing. Here. There you go. Okay. Just need a little time to think, you know. As things get old, sometimes it needs extra time, you know, just like me. Okay, so here I have my USB. I'm going to move this on the side over here. Let me just get a scissor. There you go. Little scissor here, here. Yeah. You know, things that I think I might need. That way I'm not moving you guys all over the place. So I'm going to scoop this over here. Okay, now I'm going to bring you to me. Now, one of the things that I did, because I noticed that last week's video, like, I had a light on here, and it like, kind of, like, showed really bright, right? So I'm hoping that it's a little better here. Let me see if maybe this could help a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, this is better. Okay, awesome. And I do have it kind of shining away instead of shining like that. Have it shining away. So it'll give it a little extra, okay? But it's not like blinding, you know, because I know the last time it was a little bit blinding and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this underneath and I'm going to hoop. Put the hoop in. Okay, got the hoop in. Got this in here. Now, I'm going to select my stuff and I'm going to hit set. Okay. Now, one of the things is that I know that this design on the computer is like right smack in the middle, okay? So one of the things that I like about printing out the template is that the template kind of gives you an idea of the center point of the design, right, on the piece of paper. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm working on the SC1900 is you'll see like a cross on there. So what I do is I kind of like use this, right, and then I move it down to see is it right in the center of that design. And I see that it really isn't, right? So because of that, what I'm going to do is when I hit and edit, it has these little arrows over here. So I'm just going to move my needle just a little bit until I get to like the center point. And this is it. I need to move it back a little. That's perfect. And front, just one more in front. Oops. Oh, needle down. Okay. It won't do it if the needle's down. There you go. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now, once you know that the center is right at the center of that template on your machine, that's when you know you are good to go and you can remove the template from the item, okay? So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just peel off that template that I put on the shoelace. I don't need it anymore, okay? Don't need it anymore. Okay, and now I want to show you up close, and hopefully you guys can see it. I know this is really, really tiny, but look at the woods right there. Do you see that cross? You see that cross right there? Okay, that's what I'm talking about regarding your center point. Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me get a pointer so that I can really show you guys exactly so you know where to look, okay? Right there. You see that? Right there. That is a cross right there. So when you go ahead and you start positioning your items, okay, you know exactly where it's going to be laying, all right? So that's really important and stuff. That's why even when I'm using my multi-needle machines and stuff, I always do favor printing out the templates because I feel that this really helps you understand exactly where your item is going to be, you know, if you are positioned correctly on the machine. Okay, so this should be a really quick stitch. Okay, I'm gonna put the template right on here. Just gonna put it here. It should be a quick stitch. I should be able to hit embroidery. It says needle down. Okay, I need to push it up. There you go. Oop. The needle is down. Okay, so I have to, there you go. I press this and it fixes that, okay? And what I pressed was the actual needle. It's right next to the scissor, okay? If you have the SC1900, okay? So, all right, so now I'm gonna put down my presser foot, okay? And it should be good. Oh, I'm excited and stuff. What I want to do is I want to get some tweezers because I always like to have tweezers with me to just grab any loose threads. And of course, when you needed stuff, that's when you can't find it. Okay, there it is. I found it. See, that's what happens when you talk junk, right? You know? Okay, Jeanette, be nice. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to move this back. I don't need this anymore. Whoop, don't go nowhere. I still want you guys to see. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I have my black thread. I positioned it correctly, okay? I taped it on the sides. I have sticky stabilizer, so that way there's no shifting and stuff like that. Okay, I know even by the template that the last name is going to fit on the shoelace. So I'm ready to go. So let me hit embroider. It's ready to embroider. This is the color that I want, okay, which is black and stuff. And I'm going to hit okay. And it's going. Okay, now I'm going to stop it. Oh, well, you know what? Let me let it go. Because I wanted to fix. You know, I don't like it when it has the dangling thing, but that's okay. It is what it is. Alright, let me just cut that extra thread, because now it's getting stuck on the W and everything. That's not going to come out good. I mean, I could fix it, but it's going to look funky. But I can fix it. It's not a big deal. But what I should have did was I should have cut that thread when it first went down. But I didn't do it, so, but that's alright. Looks good. It looks like it's embroidering well, you know. I should have picked a better font, though. I think I should have picked a better font. There's going to be some cleanup on here. And look at that. This was a minute. Okay. All finished. Okay, so now that that's finished, let's take a look at the final result. Alright, I'm going to lift this up and take this out. Okay, cut it. I should have picked a better font, but that's okay. I mean, and there's cleanup that's involved. All right, let me show you guys what it turned out. Okay. So the reason why I say I should have got a better font is because the D right here looks very similar to the O. So it looks like woos instead of woods. Okay, so that's all right. Now, this is another thing too. If you are doing this for your kids, okay, just something to share with you. I would not remove this from the sticky stabilizer, okay? Because remember, in the shoelace, you're going to want to embroider one side, and you're also going to want to embroider the other side. And then you also have the other shoelace, and you want to embroider that as well, right? So this is one of the things that I advise that you do. Leave it in here, okay? Take this, okay? Just take the other side. And then what you do, because you don't want to waste stabilizer, okay? That's the reason why I'm telling you to do this. Take it and you place it on here. Okay? Take your template and you place it on here. So that way you save. Because you don't want to, you know, sticky stabilizer can be expensive. So you want to save your money, okay? Same process. That way, now you have it on both, on one, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the machine. Put my hoop in. And then remember how I told you, you're going to go back. And remember how I told you that you go ahead and you position your needle with that template. I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to move it. Oops. Perfect. Now I take it out. Be careful with this because I don't want to pop a hole. Take out the template. There you go. They're good. Put it on the side. I already measured it. I know they're perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, you saw how, I should have hit embroider. I should have cut the thread because it was too long in the beginning. It started to embroider on top of it. I'm going to make sure it doesn't do that now. But there we go. Oh, it's fine now. It went all the way in. And I'll stick with the same font. It's okay, as long as we know it works. Okay, so now this takes a minute. And it's quick. This is real quick. And here's the other shoelace. This is really quick, so if you have kids, or even if you want to do it for yourself and stuff like that, I mean, they get a new pair of sneakers and stuff like that, or even if you want to gift somebody a pair of sneakers for Christmas and stuff like that, take the shoelaces off and then just embroider their name or even their initials. Just do their initials on the shoelace too. You can do that, and then when they get their shoes, it'll be extra special. So it's just an idea. Okay, see how quick? All right. Okay, so I got that. Hit okay. I'm gonna lift it. So let's take a look at it so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, there you go. So I got Woods right there. See, and this is all one shoelace, okay? Now, am I going to take it out? Nope. What I'm going to do is, because remember, you got 2 feet, right? So you got to do the other shoe. So I'm going to take the other one, and I'm going to place it on here. And you just do it straight. There you go. Place it on. Take my template. Put it on. And then a little bit of Scotch tape on the side, just to give that little extra security. There you go. Number 3. Okay, so now I'm going to put it in like before. This was a quick project, guys. Very quick. And as you can see, I mean, and think about it, if you do initials, it's not even a minute. It's not even a minute. Because it's just, because the fonts are small, okay? It's very small. And, let me put it in. See, that's what I get for talking. The fonts are small. And, so they're quick to do. Okay? All right, so now, same thing with this. I'm going to go back, and I've got to reposition it, okay? So I'm going to go back all the way up here. Here it is. Oops, that's too much. Nope, need to go back more. Just a little bit more. Perfect. All right, so now take out that template. And then after this one, I just got to do it one more time. And then I'm done with shoelaces. There we go. So now I'm going to put this down. Hit embroider. And there we go. And it's a quick minute. Very quick minute. You know, I really wish that I knew how to do all this stuff when my son was little. Because I could have embroidered all his shoes. All of them. Because that's all he did was wear sweatpants, sweatshirts, and his sneakers, and his baseball hat. That was Carlito. So I could have embroidered everything. But I learned all this after he grew up. Ain't that something? And I don't know if I'm going to have grandkids, because I don't think he's interested in having kids. So I'm like, oh well. Which I understand, because everything's expensive now, so life's not as easy as it used to be. Yeah, so the only thing, honestly, that I would have changed out of this whole project is I probably would have chose a better font. That's about it, you know? That's the only thing that if I had to do different, that's what I would have done. You know? Maybe a little thicker font or something like that. Maybe that's what I would have done. Alright, so here we go. Finished. I'm going to show you guys the third one. Alright. So now we got 3. Okay, so now we just got to work on the last one. And then you got a pair of shoelaces personalized. Okay, there you go. Now, let me just... Oh, why did I do that? I needed to do this first. That stuff falling all over the place. Hold on, I got a bobbin. Bobbin case fell. There it is. Okay. Alright, so take the other one. Okay. And put it on there. Your template again. Just a little bit of security. There's nothing wrong with a little extra security. Everybody wants a little bit of love. So that way it doesn't move. Okay, here we go. Alright, so now I'm going to put this back on the machine. Hoop it. And this is the last round. Okay. Move my mat here. Got stuff in here. Oh, okay, clips. All right, so now I'll move back. You want to reposition like always. I hope you guys can see. Okay, there you go. You guys can see. Okay, see, reposition. So I'm gonna push it back. Take down the needle. Okay, I gotta move a little bit this way. Move a little bit back. Okay, hold on. Oh, it won't let me go back anymore. Okay, that's fine. Well, let me see. Should I? No, it'll still embroider fine. I have plenty of space. Okay. I should have. It thinks it's all the way at the edge of the hoop. Oh, let me not use that. Use your tweezers because you don't want. I don't want to cause a pull. All right, so I'm gonna remove my template. Wait, drop that. Put the template here. Drop this. Okay, got everything. Embroider. And there you go. Now I'm going to embroider that. Perfect. This was an easy project. I didn't even have any snags. The only thing, like I said, I'm just not a fan of the font. I think the O and the D look too similar. That's it. But cute. And it's so quick. I mean, because, like, how far are we on the happy hour? Oh, wow. This took 45 minutes? Okay, this evening is going by too fast. I thought I just started with you guys. You believe that? This time has gone so fast. And I just thought, and I was like, oh, we just started. I'm like, oh my God, I have a whole hour to fill. What am I going to talk to you guys about? But you guys know I'll still hang with y'all. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. All right, so all done, finished. Okay, so I'm going to move this back, and I'm going to take this out of the, take this, lift this, and I'm going to take this out. All right, so look at that. 4 laces on 1 hooping with stabilizer. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Because this, you know, if you went ahead and you re-hooped, you would lose so much sticky stabilizer. So this is the way to do it for 1 pair of shoes, okay? You know, I think this is fantastic. So this works. All right, so now what I'm going to do, let me make sure you guys can see what I do too, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it out. I'm just going to take it out and stuff. And, of course, you know, it has a lot of tape on it. So I'm just going to take out the tape. And take this off the stabilizer. Just peel it off. You know, and it's just clean up. That's all it is. There it is. Clean up. Now, another thing I should have did, which now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, my God, I screwed up. Okay. Water-soluble stabilizer. I should have used that, okay? I could have gotten little pieces of it and put it right on top, and it would have given it an extra lift, okay? So I forgot to do that. But, you know, it really didn't come out that bad. You know, let me see. Let me cut these extra threads in the back. Look at how the back looks. Looks good. The back looks good. The front looks good. Got a little pull right there. And that's okay. That's all right. Hopefully it'll snap back. But got a little pull. But, okay, so now let me take the other one out. You know, just pull them out. Because, you know, there is a lot of tape on here. Because, remember, you were taping them down so that, you know, they wouldn't shift and stuff like that. And, you know, sticky stabilizer may end up sometimes sticking at the back. But you can take that out. And I'm just going to cut my little tails here. There we go. This is the one that kind of like messed up because it has some extra thread hang. So, and this is going to be hard to get out. See how it has that extra thread in there? So that didn't really come out that great. That really didn't, you know. But hey, it's for Fred. He's fine with it, you know. Now, before I would go ahead and do this for sale, one of the things that I recommend is go to the dollar store, buy a bunch of cheap stabilizers, and then go ahead and practice on different fonts and stuff like that so that you can see how they look, because you're going to want them to look professional. Because to me, honestly, this is not, to me, professional. But the thing is, I'm very picky, okay, especially when it's stuff that leaves my shop, you know. I like to be very, very, very picky. I like things to look super solid. Gotta take this out too. So right now, this is not something that I would offer to anybody because I would have to practice. Like, I already know right off the bat, I will not use this font for this. There you go. Because of the way the D and the O. Or, this is one thing that I recommend. When someone asks for a name, there you go. So here's this pair. When someone asks for a name, do a test stitch. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Embroider some sample and bring them. Yeah, that's what I would do. So, see, it didn't come out bad. It's not bad. Look at that. A pair of shoelaces embroidered with your name on them. Now, how cool is that? That's cool. That's super cool. I like this. I like this. I like the way this came out. Real quick, you saw that? I mean, it didn't take a long time to do, okay? And what I really love about it, too, is that I was just able to use one sheet. Just one sheet of sticky stabilizer. So that means you're not, like, wasting a lot of stabilizer. All on one. Really simple. Just make sure that you have your, once you have this, you're golden. And when you know how to manipulate your machine the way I did, where I was making sure that the needle was right smack in the middle of my template, when, you know, it's fine. And this is the other thing, too, that I want you guys to think about. When you print these templates, right, and I place them on here, I know for sure that this design is actually going to fit on this shoelace. Because you got to remember also, not all shoelaces are the same size, right? Some are thinner, some are thicker, okay? And here's another idea that my husband was telling me about earlier. He said, oh, I got to get his shoe. He was telling me that why don't you embroider the name in the middle of the shoelace? And I was like, why would you do that? And you know what? I'm going to, hold on. Let me get his shoe, okay? And I'm going to show you why, okay? Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, here I am. All right. This is an idea that he gave me, and I was like, that's a pretty good idea. Okay, so he said sometimes, like, you know, I don't know how it is today, okay? I know back in the day, I don't know, where's the bell? Mello. I think he's sleeping with Fred. Oh, here he is. Oh, my goodness. Your debut, boo-boo. Everybody wants to see you. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Yeah. Somebody asked. Iris asked about you. Was it Iris? No, it was Jenny. Jenny asked about you. She sure did. Okay, so let me tell you guys. I don't know. I may be aging myself, but I remember growing up. Okay, bye. He's got attitude today. I don't know why. But anyway, I remember growing up. I remember when Adidas was a big deal, you know, all these sneakers, Converse, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you remember, back in the day, people used to make a big deal about their shoelaces, right? People used to, like, do, like, checkerboard style on their sneakers. It was like a big thing, right? They had all these colors and all that stuff on their sneakers. So when I was telling him, hey, you know, I told him, I saw you have these shoelaces. I'm going to embroider them. He was like, do the middle. And I'm like, what do you mean do the middle? So what he's talking about is when people sometimes style their sneakers, you know, you have that middle portion right here. So he was telling me you should embroider the name in the middle so that when people put their shoelaces on, the name is in the middle, right? So I was like, that's a really cool idea. I like that idea. Now, how would you go about doing this? It's really, really simple, okay? Now, you saw how I just did the edges, right? if you want it to be in the middle, then simply what you would do is just take your shoelace, right? Fold it in half. And then right there, you know where that middle spot is, right? Because what's going to happen is when people put the shoelace on the shoe, usually they go ahead and they put it in, and then they when they lace it up, they want these two to meet, right? Because that's like their middle. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that this is your middle point, right? So what I would do is I would put, you know, like a little sticker, or maybe just a little mark with a washable pen or something like that. And this is where you would place your template. So that way, when you embroider the name is actually in the middle of your shoelace. So if it's in the middle of your shoelace, when they go to start putting the shoelace on their sneakers, it's actually going to be like that. And then they're going to go ahead and, you know, and then they'll continue to lace their shoes. And then what'll happen is, like, he'll have Woods right in the middle, right? So that's usually, you know, how it was. So he had mentioned that. So I was kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, I didn't think about that, you know, because I was just thinking of the ends, right? Because I thought the ends would be pretty cool, because then, you know, you tie it, and then, you know, you have the ends flapping, and it has your name on it, you know. So, but there's different ways you can do it, right? And you can put the initial, you can put first name, last name, or, you know, whatever they want on there, you know. I think this is a really cute idea to make something very unique, and to add a little ooh to a gift. If you're gifting someone a pair of sneakers or something like that, I think this is pretty neat. I don't know if the kids today do much with the sneakers anymore. I mean, I know, you know, I hear people talk about these expensive sneakers at Foot Locker and stuff like that. So I don't, you know, and I'm sure they come with shoelaces and stuff. But, you know, I mean, I don't know if maybe shoes have gotten to a whole other level, and it's not like it used to be back in the day. Like, I know back in the day, everybody was like I said, it used to be Adidas and Reeboks and I don't know, all these other Nikes, you know. And I know the shoelace was a big thing back then. Shoelaces were, and they used to be a whole different ways that people used to shoelace their shoes. It was big back then. I don't think I see it too much today. I really don't. But you never know. Sometimes styles come back. You know, styles sometimes come back and everything. Because I remember at one time, people were wearing bell bottoms and everything. Then they got the skinny jeans. And then they got the Gloria Vanderbilt, the Jordache. I remember that. I mean, me and my sister, we used to want those jeans so bad. Because I remember when we didn't have to wear our school uniforms. You know, because me and my sister used to go to, you know, Catholic school. And we had uniforms, right? So once in a while, wasn't often, that they would allow us to wear pants, right? That we didn't have to wear our school uniform or something, right? And it was like all about Jordache and Sergio Valente and Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, you know. And it was a big thing, right? It was like everybody had to have a pair. And I remember all the girls bragging about, I have this pair, I have that pair. Oh, I like your jeans, I like that, you know. Oh, back in the day, things we used to do, right? So, but anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys like this. I thought this was a really neat idea. I really did. And as you can see, it was pretty super quick. It really wasn't that bad, you know. And the other thing you can do to speed it up a little bit, instead of putting the laces one by one on the hoop, you can put all four. Okay, and then just take the template off, put it on the next one, put the template off, put it on the next one, you know, and then just embroider it, because you don't have to take the hoop out because you've already placed your your shoelace on the hoop. I could have done all four at one time and then just use that template and just move the template and then embroidered it, move the template, embroidered with the template and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something, something that I thought was pretty cool, because I did see that they put a video out this on Facebook, but they didn't, they were showing how to do this with some kind of subscription of an app or something like that. And they used a placement stitch. But I wanted to show you guys, you don't need that. You could just use what you already have, okay? And this is another thing too. Let's say you don't have embroidery software, right? But you know for sure that the letters are gonna fit on the lace, okay? All you have to do is position your needle right smack in the middle of that shoelace, okay? And then just embroider it. That's it. It's very easy, simple to do, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna go down the chat, say hi to you guys and stuff. I think this is really cool. I gotta show this to Fred when he wakes up in the morning, because he goes to bed early now. He's old. So yeah, so he, and I'm pretty excited for him, because I think he has 6 months to retire. That means he'll be home all the time. Which is cool. Yeah, so let me go down the chat and say hi to you guys, because I am talking to you guys from my MacBook, and I hope you guys can see me okay and stuff, because I think my sister told me that it looks kind of dark in here, which kind of pisses me off, because I spent money on an electrician to come in, and I do have brighter lights in here, and it does look a little brighter, but it looks brighter to me, but I don't know how it looks for you guys and stuff, so I'm gonna have to watch the replay just to see. Okay, so let me go down and say hi to everybody and stuff. Hey Marlene, how you doing? Yes, I had a great 4th of July. We ended up staying at home, but we usually spend the 4th of July in our basement, because my husband's a veteran. He was boots on ground, so the fireworks make him a little nervous. So, but we were in the basement just hanging out and stuff, so it was pretty cool. We do it every year, and it's pretty nice. And I did go upstairs a little bit with Mello and let him watch the fireworks, because I was wondering if he was going to get a little nervous and stuff, because sometimes it's not good for dogs. But he was excited. He was waving his tail, and he was like watching all the fireworks and everything, because they do a lot of fireworks where I live. And we were just sitting in our backyard watching it. So I just let him sit out there. I sat out there with him for about just 10 minutes and stuff, because I didn't want him to then, get scared, because, they are very sudden, right? But he actually enjoyed it and stuff. And then after that, we just went back downstairs to huddle down, Hey Robin, how you doing? Hey Jenny. Hey Black Doll, how are you? Hey Iris. Hey Peggy. I see Baby Giant. How are you? Hey Latoya, how's it going? Hey Joyce. I see Angela and Stitches. Debbie. Sassy, how you doing? Hey Judy, how are you? Hey Make Boy, how are you? Anna, how you doing? Rudy, Robbins. I see Eileen. I see Debbie. Hey Nancy, how are you? Hey Allison, how's it going? Hey Tina, how are you? Let's see. Hey Miss Banks, how you doing? And let me show you guys something else that I did too and stuff. I did a thing. I went to Starbucks, okay? And I just picked up one of their stuff. All I did was trace the fabric on here, and I used batting and stuff like that. Put a button, and I thought this would be really cute to put around my coaster, So I thought this was pretty cute. So I made this for my Esther gift, and I made one for myself as well. But I'm going to have to go to Starbucks and buy a coffee, because I want to make sure it fits the cup, so I don't know if I got the size right. This is elastic, so it's supposed to like go around and stuff, but I just want to make sure that it's a good fit and stuff like that. So I wanted to show you guys. I made this. I've been trying to play with my sewing machine now, and I really like, I like doing that and stuff because I want to sew more. You know, it's been a couple of days since I've turned on the embroidery machine because I had to take a break because of too many orders that were coming in. So I did on purpose, gave myself like a whole week off because it's not that I don't love them anymore. I adore them, but it's just that the orders got a lot. So I needed to take that break for me. So, but I'll be back in the grind next week for sure. Excuse me. Hey, Kim Cass, how are you? Hey, Tammy. Let's see. Let's see. And if you guys have any questions, or even if you think that I did something kind of like wrong while working on this project, or not even wrong, like maybe, oh, hey, Tammy, how are you? Or hey, pretty eyes, how you doing? Oh, I embroider my animals' names and phone numbers on their collars and leashes. And you know what? That's something that is really popular, Marsha. And I remember when I had my boxer, I wasn't embroidering at that time, and I actually ordered a leash with his name and my phone number attached to the leash. I mean, and I loved it, and I ordered like about 3 of them and stuff. So you can make money off of that. That's for sure. You know, yeah. But now what I have is Mello has like a fly collar, because he's chipped. He has his license on his collar, and he also has a feline collar. It's FI collar, and what that is this actual dog tracker, and it actually has an app, and it has real time. So whenever like I go for a walk, Fred gets an alert that Mello left the house and that he's with me, and it actually shows a map of where he's walking and stuff like that, which I love because that's one of the scary things that I find. Like sometimes I see like dogs get lost, and you don't know, they're hard to find. They really are. And where I live, there's a lot of woods out here. I mean, I'm not like in the suburbs, but we have a lot of walking trails out here, and there is a lot of wooded area. So, sometimes people have lost their dogs, and it's like they don't find them for days. And we do have wildlife out here too. We've had black bears, we have coyotes, we have rabbits. And I live next to a farm. And I remember once the farm's fence broke down. I don't know if I told you guys, and their animals got out, and we had a whole bunch. I had like pigs here, and we had pigs, chickens, turkeys, goats. They were walking around the neighborhood, horses and stuff. So I was like, oh wow, it's like it turned into like a zoo, which was kind of funny, because I just sat on the front porch and I just watched all the animals walk by, and it was like kind of cool. It was like I was living in a petting zoo. So, I always worry about that. So I kind of like that, because that's what the trainer was using when I took Mello to go get trained, because he attended canine off-leash training for 2 weeks, and he was boarded there. And they did a really good job, and I was always concerned about that. I was like, well, how do I know you're not going to lose my dog? Because they kept saying, it's going to be an off leash. And they were like, we know where he's at. And I was like, how do you know that? And that's when they showed me the collar, and they showed me how it worked. And then I liked it so much that I went and I got him one. So, yeah, and I love that leash because and I've showed a couple of people that have accidentally lost their dogs here. And then they found it. And, I told them about it, and they were like, oh, they love it. So now it's like you see a bunch of dogs around here with those collars, because we got a lot of escape artists in my neighborhood sometimes. Dogs are smart. They really are. They know how to get away if they want to. yeah, so that is very, very popular, embroidering names on leashes and stuff like that. So yeah, because that is really, really big. Um, Not at all. And did them on my lunar. And this is the thing, Marcia, you don't have to. If think, let's think about this for a moment, okay? You guys saw that I use sticky stabilizer, right? Well, you know what? I'm thinking, did I really have to use sticky stabilizer? I didn't have to. I could have used tearaway stabilizer. Because if you really think about it, right? What you could do is you can use temporary spray adhesive, okay? And then I'm using the Scotch tape also to help that also secure in place. So, the sticky stabilizer may provide maybe better support, right? Because it's sticky all the way around. And when you lay down the shoelace, it's really not going to shift, even though I still added those, the tape. But, if you don't have sticky stabilizer, I would definitely not use cutaway, okay? Because remember, if you use cutaway on this, well, first of all, the shoelaces are not going to get washed often, right? So if you use cutaway, you got to remember, when you cut it, you still see the stabilizer in the back, okay? But if you use tearaway or the sticky stabilizer, you get a better, cleaner look on the back of the shoelace than if you had cutaway. Because cutaway, you would have to just cut it and you would still have stabilizer looking there. Then people are not going to like that. They're not going to like the way that looks, okay? But one thing I would change is I would have used the water-soluble stabilizer, and I didn't do that, and I have that right here. It left my mind. You put this right on top. That would have gave the thread a little bit more of a lift on the shoelace, so it probably would have maybe looked a little better. But like I said, I wasn't too thrilled on the font that I picked. With all the fonts that I have, I should have picked a nicer one. But I didn't want one that was girly, because I have some scripts and all that kind of stuff. And, with guys, it's a little hard because they don't, I hope I didn't spell my name wrong. Maybe that's why it turned out like that. I don't think I did. But anyway. Because wouldn't it be funny if I had really typed WOOOS instead of OODS? That would have been funny. But anyway, he's fine with it. He'll be fine with this. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's just another thing that you can do and stuff like that. Hey, Boyd, how are you? Hey, Miss Carrie G, how are you? Never occurred to me to embroider on a shoelace. Yeah, I mean, it didn't occur to me either, Angela. This was not really my idea. It was just something that I saw on Facebook, like I mentioned, and I was like, that's pretty clever. That's a pretty neat idea. Let's see how that turns out. This is actually my first time doing it, too. Hey, Valerie, does it matter the kind of shoelace that you use? I don't think so. The thing is, though, Valerie, one of the things that I would look at is, there is different types, right? Like I said, sometimes you'll have a shoelace that is maybe a little bit thinner, and if you have a shoelace that's really super thin, the other thing, you may not probably be able to embroider it, okay? Because if it's too thin, you're not going to be able to find a font that you can kind of embroider right inside of it. So to me personally, I feel like the thicker or the wider that and how wide is this? Let me see if I can tell you exactly how wide this shoelace is. Okay, let me see. This is 3/4 of an inch, okay, wide. That's what this is, okay. I would not go for a shoelace that's less than 1/2 of an inch, all right? And even with 1/2 of an inch, it's going to be really kind of tough to go ahead and embroider on it. Because if it's 1/2 of an inch shoelace, Okay, that means that you're gonna have to really pick a font that's maybe a quarter of an inch, and that is really, really, really small. It may not even be readable. Okay, so honestly, I think I would stick to the type of shoelace that I have right now, which is 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I think this is a good size, and it gives you plenty of space to actually embroider a name in it, okay, and stuff. So yeah, but I mean, I don't think like the type of material would really matter. I think shoelaces really have the most common. I think they have common shoelaces, and I'm trying to see if I can find some of my shoes, but I think Mello kind of took them all because he has a fetish with shoes and stuff. A lot of times he takes out shoes and he runs and he hides them, and when we need to go somewhere, we gotta go look for them, So, which is, that's Mello, So, but yeah, I mean, Valerie, I would look for shoelaces that are at least 3/4 of an inch, okay? Nothing's thinner, because then it could be a little tricky to do. Let's see. This would be a good fundraiser for a school. Use initials and colors. You know what? You're right. And you know what, Joanne? Another thing, because you are mentioning that, you could put the initials of the school on shoelaces. The initial of a high school or something like that. And like you said, the school colors, that would work great, because I know like here by me, there's Battlefield High School, and the initial is BHS, and their color's purple. So that, Joanne, you are right. I mean, and shoelaces are not expensive. I mean, I don't think they are. I mean, I just got this because Fred bought a pair of shoes, and it came with the shoelaces and stuff. And there's other shoelaces that he likes to use. So I mean, that's a very good idea, Joanne. I like that. I'm sorry, I learned to embroider after I retired from a large school district. I would have done their team shirts and towels or any. Yep, Marsha, same thing. But you know what? It's okay. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's just now, like when my son, became older, and the reason why I took up a sewing machine is because he wasn't around for me to bother him anymore. So I was kind of like, bored and stuff. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with myself, And so I was like, okay, so I bought a sewing machine. I started doing little sewing crafts like this, and then after that, then I got into embroidery. And then what ended up happening was, when I started doing embroidery, then people were asking me to embroider for them. And that's really how it all started. And then I'm not going to embroider for free, so I started charging. And then before you know it, I said, okay, let me do an Etsy shop. And then I did the Etsy shop, and it just grew. It just grew. That's why I tell a lot of people, when I do the videos talking about running an embroidery business, a lot of times people say, well, I only do it for fun. And I'm like, I totally got that. I know you're probably embroidering for fun, but just be aware that it is a skill that a lot of people like and go after. And sometimes what happens is, even though you're just gifting for your family and your friends, eventually someone's going to know or pick up that you have this skill set, and that you are capable of, embroidering hats and shirts and bags and all that kind of stuff. And before you know it, someone is going to approach you, and they're going to say, hey, how much would you charge to do something like this? And before you know it, you kind of, not that you meant to do it, okay, but you end up starting a little business on the side, and you just earn a couple of dollars here and there. But it is something that is really highly, sought out. People look for it. I was going to say sought after. Whatever, you should see me when I brief at work. And so it's something that a lot of people do look for. And when people know someone that does embroidery, chances are they're going to be asking you to do something for them. So yeah, but I mean, it is something that a lot of times, people, people, you can really make good money and stuff. Oh my God, Marcia says she is in Southern California, 115 degrees. It was really hot here too. Did barely go out, but I really couldn't go out either because we're back to home renovations. So we had the folks working in my kitchen area, and they're coming back. They should be done tomorrow, and then the next home renovation isn't going to start again till hopefully October, and then it'll be done for this year. And then I'm hoping that I don't do any more home renovations for a while. So yeah, but it's hot here too. It really, really, truly is. And I haven't really walked Mellow a lot either. I just walked him around the block once because you got to be very careful with dogs because dogs have that fur, and you don't want them to get a heat stroke or anything like that. So yeah, so let me see. Marsha, that's my goal. I work at a school and hope to do embroidery work for them. I just don't know who to ask about this. Oh, you could just ask them if they're going to have like a craft show or something. Or, you know what I would do, Valerie? Reach out to the president of the PTA. There you go. The PTA might be able to help. Okay, everybody is feeling the heat. I could see that. My daughter was having trouble rethreading her serger. She forgot how to do it. I told her to check your video on that, and she did. She said you saved her some time. Thanks. Oh, hey, Iris. I'm glad. I do want to redo that video, though, because I feel like, my girlfriend was helping me with that, and I felt like her hand was shaking a little bit too much. I really want to get better, steady shots on that video. So a lot of people do like that video and stuff, but I just feel like the hand shakes a little bit too much. So I do want to try to do that and stuff. Hey Becky, how are you? Okay, Jeanette, where do we get and give the addresses for the exchange? Debbie, you should have it. It's in, if you go to the Esther gift exchange, it will show you who you are supposed to be giving the gift to. So what I will do is when I get off of the live, I will send you a message and let you know who your person is. Okay. Yes, and thanks for mentioning it. Remember, the gifts need to be mailed out by the 15th of this month. Okay, I already started working on my gift for my person, and yeah, they're going to be getting a couple of things. So yeah, so just the 15th of this month is when you're supposed to mail them out. So Debbie, in the Esther.com, in the gift exchange where you signed up, you should be able to go back in there and it'll tell you who you're supposed to be gifting. If you don't see that, please send me a message. I will try to email you. I'll go in there. Matter of fact, let me write it down and I won't forget to tell you exactly, and I'll send you an email because I don't want to forget and then you don't have the ability to send out your gift. Debbie White Esther. That way I can give you all the information of who to send the gift to, okay? But thanks for asking and stuff. I appreciate that. The extra strand is going down the sneaker to check. What grade school? Oh, okay, you guys just talking. You guys are just talking, which is cool. Hey Jackie, how are you? Mello, what are you doing? Okay, I see Mello came back in and stuff. Jenny said, where's Mel? Where's Mel? Jenny's asking. And Jenny's asking Mello, where are you? I'm going to show you. There he is. Where he's not supposed to be. Where he's not supposed to be. Wagging his tail. That's what he's doing. Fred has big feet. He does. He does. I don't know what size he is. What size is he? I don't know what size he is. He's, what is that? 10. I think it's a 10. No, an 11. Yeah. These are new sneakers. He's going to treat them because they're suede. Look at that. He's already, see? Mellow's already looking at someone's sneakers. Boy, your daddy will kill you. Because these are his new ones. Because the old ones, he chewed up. I'm telling you, this dog is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Hey, Miss Hemmings, how are you? We wore Keds. Yep. I remember the Keds. And then I remember the Skippies. Remember the Skippies? Those were just the white sneakers and stuff. And I used to wear those a lot and stuff. While the shoelace is laced. Okay. Or what if you mark well, okay, the thing is, Marguerite, you could do that. You could do that. But know also that that you could do that. But then remember, once you lace the shoe and you mark the center point, then you gotta unlace the shoe, of course, and you gotta take it off, and then you gotta put them on the machine. You know what I mean? So it's a little more time consuming. But the thing is, I remember when I was lacing the sneakers, right? It was always like you would put your shoelace in the sneaker, and then you would pull until these two were even, right? And then you would go like that up to your shoe. So to me, I look at it as long as you really start right at the middle, right? Then you should be good, because this is the portion that's going to be right on the front of the shoe. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you want to lace them and then mark it, you can, but it'll just take a little more time and stuff. Can you also string the shoe up and then mark? Oh, same thing Arlene's saying. You can, but to me, it's a lifesaver if you just take the middle and you just go over there and you already know what your middle portion is. You already kind of know that. Or, you know what? Now you guys got me thinking. Okay, now Marjorie and Arlene got me thinking, because there could be times when it's not really even, depending on how they lace their sneakers, right? So, you may end up having one that's longer than the other. So maybe that would be a better option, and stuff. I say, it could be. Yeah, you may want to do that and stuff. Maybe lace it up, mark it, and then unlace it, and then you know exactly where to put it in. But the only thing is, when you lace the shoe, you gotta make sure you laced it the same way. That's the only thing I think you might have an issue with. Not sure, but you might. Does Fred know you're doing this? He does. I talked to him because what happened was I saw these on the table, and he had took his shoe, but he left the shoelace on the table. So I did tell him and said, hey, I'm going to take your shoelaces. I'm going to embroider your last name on them. And he was like, okay. That's when he told me, hey, why don't you do the middle too? But I'm like, no, I'm just going to do the ends and stuff. But after doing it, I was thinking about it, and I was like, he's got something there. I mean, people may want, it might be cool to have a sneaker and then have your initials or something right there. That's not a bad idea. I mean, I could see people wanting to do something like that. No tennis shoes. We grew up in the 60s. I really like this idea. Oh, thanks, Iris. I'm glad. Hey, Ozzy. How you doing? I always got them twisted or laced from the bottom at the middle. Yeah, there's always too many this is the other thing too. There's so many different ways to lace sneakers. So maybe what Eileen and Mark MAKOBY is said could be maybe a better idea, because if you do lace them and then you mark it, you know for sure that if you relace them, it's gonna be, it may not be exact, but it's gonna be close. You know what I'm saying? So it may not be a bad idea. Hey, no, you're not late. You know I talk a lot, Ozzy. Hey, Iris. Um, hey, Nita Brown. How are you? Oh my God, Sassy said in the 1950s, I colored a red circle on the heel of my sneakers as I couldn't afford a pair of red ball jets. It didn't help me run faster. And sometimes I wonder when people buy all these Jordans and stuff, I'm like, okay, I guess they're gonna think they're gonna run do basketball like Jordan or something. I don't know. Yeah, but I remember that was those commercials and stuff. They were like, oh, you'll play better, and all that stuff. So, but that was back in the days. That's cute. I'm gonna try it. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, it's pretty easy, Cynthia. As you saw, it was quick too. Okay, and I did it right on my single needle machine. Very easy to do. Hey, crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing? Let's see. I sewed a zipper on a crochet sweater that I made. Oh, I have to sew more. I've got to sew more. I'm trying so hard to get back into the sewing and stuff. You deserve the break. Thank you, Robert. I do, because I am tired. I'm really, really tired. And I am so glad that I came up with the idea of the appointment book, okay? Because I did block this whole week off, and I was like, I'm not doing any orders. I don't care. And I'm going to tell you, people were asking, and they were like, can you do? And I'm like, no. I stuck to my guns because I was like, I can't do it. And, I kind of feel bad because I kind of fibbed a little bit. And I said, well, I'm getting my machine serviced, and I won't be able to do it. And I'm really not, Well, I do have to. Well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to change all my needles. I'm going to change all my needles. I'm going to oil them, and I'm going to clean them, okay? Now, I do have to make my appointment with Justin soon so that he can come and he can run the maintenance on all three machines. But I'm just really, really tired. And, I'm starting to learn that sometimes you have to really listen to your body. And it's like when you get exhausted, just take that break. Because the way I look at it is the money's always going to be there. I'm not going to worry about it. We're not losing a meal. We're fine. So, but I want to continue to do this and enjoy doing it. I don't want it to turn into something that I really start to dislike and stuff. And that can happen if you burn yourself out. So, I just I've been in my room because this is where I love to be. But what I started doing was I just started sewing, and I was sewing for me. I was sewing for me and my Esther, the person that I have to send my gift to. So I'm just focusing on that and enjoying the sewing machine again, and just relaxing. I don't want to do the embroidery machine unless, I'm going to turn it on tomorrow, but it's for the gift. Because like I said, I want to put several things in my gift box to the person, and one of them is going to be something I'm going to embroider for them. So I just want to do just multiple projects and just take my time, and I just want to enjoy the process. I really, really do, and stuff. I needed this break and stuff. Let's see. Hey, Backhouse, how are you? Oh my goodness, Pumas! Yes, I remember. Yes, lacing the Pumas back in the day. That was big. Yeah, Pumas was another one. That was pretty cool. That turned out really cute. Oh, thanks, Karen. I'm glad you guys liked it. I didn't know how this was actually going to turn out because, like I said, I never did this before. It was just something that I saw, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try it, and hit or miss. We'll see. Hey, Annette, how are you? Have to watch the reruns. I see my old friends are on. Miss you all. I've done the shoelaces. Yep, the shoelace. Pretty fun. They are pretty fun to make. Hey, glad to have you back. I wouldn't embroider kids' names on for safety reasons. Yeah, Ozzy. Yeah, and it's funny because it depends on the parent. Like, it depends because sometimes, well, yeah, you got a good point there because there's a lot of crazies out there, so you do have to be careful on that. Because I'm over here thinking, well, if you pick up your kid and you take him to school every day, but you never know. You just never know if there may be a day you can't pick them up and maybe they gotta walk. I am more of a I like prefer I me personally I prefer initials, you know, or but I kind of I see what you're saying, Ozzy, about the names and stuff. And people sometimes say that about the shirts too, like the birthday shirts. Some people, they don't want the name on there, they prefer just the design and the number, which is fine. But a lot of times when people have those birthday shirts, usually is to wear at the birthday party or something like that. But but in all honesty, though, even though you buy it for the birthday party, let's be real, the kid ends up falling in love with the shirt. And like, I remember I made a shirt for a little boy, and he was wearing that shirt every day for like 2 weeks. I mean, it was like the mom was like, okay, I had to like actually like bribe him to take the shirt off just so I could wash it. So it was kind of funny. So kids do get attached to that, and kids love it when they do see things with their names on it too. But I see exactly what you're saying, Ozzy, because I've heard people express the same concerns as well. So yeah, I've heard about that. But I just want to say thank you for this video. Great advice. Oh, you're welcome. I love helping. So, oh, I use this spare. Okay, so that's the one. Okay, Annette. Yeah, Annette. She says she used the sparrow to do this to do the laces. Yeah, so if you have that, you can use that. But I mean, it's not really that difficult. And I think with the Aspera, correct me if I'm wrong. Where are you? Annette, I believe with the Aspera app, what they do is they do the placement stitch. For that way you can put the shoelace on, and then they embroider the actual shoelace and stuff. But see, what I didn't use the placement stiff. I didn't use a placement stitch. I just used a template. And just place it on there. But like I said, you really don't even need the template if you know exactly where, if you just put your needle right in the middle of your lace, then you should be fine. You should be okay. Oh, okay. Got into Esther, found your risk. Where do I find the shipping address? Don't worry, Debbie. I'll email you right after here. Okay. It should be there. It should be there and stuff. Okay, but don't worry. I'll send you the email so that you can because I want to make sure you get the right info. Okay, and stuff. Because I know sometimes that site can be, for some people it's easy to navigate. For others, it's not. I myself sometimes even have issues with it, and stuff. So, yeah. But hey, Miss Max, how are you? Chat was crazy on my end. Hope everyone had a good 4th. Hope you had one too. Should I message her? Okay, I will get you the info, Debbie. Don't worry. We'll talk, okay? We'll get it together and stuff. Hey, Nettie, how are you? Love the idea. Turned out really nice. Don't feel guilty. I don't feel guilty. I am going to enjoy this week. Even though I still got to work and stuff. Because when the renovations are done tomorrow, because I'm getting my pantry done. They're taking out all the wire shelves, and in Closet America is the one that's doing my closet. So instead of the wire shelf, I actually want the actual shelf. So they're building it out with a large lazy Susan and everything, because we need to get more organized, because I'm really tired of going to the supermarket thinking that I have something and then I buy it, and then when we were emptying out the pantry for the construction workers to go in and demolish it to and repaint it and all that kind of stuff, it's like we found so many things that were expired. We found so many things that we thought we didn't have, but we did have, and then we bought it again. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully after all this is done, we'll be more organized, and then we will be able to know exactly what we have and how much we have of it and use it before things expire. So hopefully get better, because that's, we're going to be on a fixed income soon. So if we're going to be on a fixed income, we can't be wasting money. Okay. So that's my goal with this pantry and stuff. Yeah. So let's see. My Esther gift is done. Can't mail till Monday though. Yep. Same here. Cause, I think the mailman is open. I think the post office is open, tomorrow, but it's not, it doesn't have to be mailed till the 15th of July. Okay, 15th of July, so you still have plenty of time and stuff. Has anyone sewn embroidered tulip? I found embroidered tulip, thinking of making a tank or top shirt. Wondering, I will tell you this, Ozzy, I've never done it, but I will tell you this. When I went to Florida once, me and Nancy went into this fabric store. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When we walked into this fabric store, it was like the high end of fabrics store fabrics, okay? I mean, the workers had uniforms on, okay? And you could tell right away that it was one of those places that you shouldn't be even asking the price of the fabric. I don't know. It was just like, wow. It was like, beautiful fabric though, very, very pricey though. And we did go upstairs, and upstairs is where they had a bunch of different fabrics, and those fabrics were embroidered. It was like embroidered fabrics. They were gorgeous. And we saw like a bunch of people there, and they were picking out fabrics, and they were upstairs. I guess that's where they designed a lot of like wedding gowns and all that kind of stuff and everything. But they had some gorgeous embroidered fabric, beaded fabric and stuff. I could imagine that sewing that type of fabric. First of all, that fabric's super expensive. I know it's got to be, okay? And then I know it cannot be very like easy to sew either. I mean, I would probably be like checking the measurements like 25 to 50 times before I ever make a cut on that type of fabric. Because one of the things is that Susie at the quilt shop tells me is, oh, it's just fabric. You can always get more fabric. Well, when I saw that fabric, it was like, no, you can't get more of that fabric. That fabric is like unique fabric. So, but you just reminded me of that when you asked about embroidered tulle. There was a lot of embroidered fabric in that shop, and gorgeous embroidery on that fabric. I could only imagine the gorgeous pieces that they created in that shop and stuff. Just reminded me of that. They just give us the fingers. They sure do. Oh my goodness. I was just finishing and noticed I put the zipper on backwards. Back to the drawing board. Yep. Gotta pull out that seam ripper, Debbie. You gotta pull it out. Hey Rita, how are you? How you doing? Oh, now saying she loved her Pumas and still wear them. And you know what? My husband wears his Pumas too. As a matter of fact, that's what these are. Pumas. He likes these. These are the suede ones. Yeah, and he treats them. I think he does something to them. He like treats them so that if they get wet or something, they don't get ruined. But these are his Pumas. He loves his Pumas too. Yeah. So shell toe Adidas. Yep, I remember the Adidas from back in the day. Guess what my plans are? Okay, Debbie, what are you going to be doing? Puerto Rican, she says she sent her Esther gift yesterday. Just realized that I forgot to place a note inside of the shipping box. Oh, you can always send them an email though. Crafty Puerto Rican. If you don't have the email address, let me know and stuff, because you can always send them an email. I thought about embroidering on the back of the backpack. It would be on the part that faces the child's back. You can do that. Another thing, Marsha, that I have done, and I have a video of it, is I also embroidered the sleeve of the backpack. I have done that as well too and stuff. And I have a video on how to do that. But I did that on my multi-needle machine. You should be able to do that on a single needle machine. The only thing, it might be a little tough, because you know the pad, the shoulders, they are thick, and you know, you have to make sure that they don't shift. That's the thing. You want to make sure they don't shift or anything on you. Yeah, it depends on the parents, you know, and stuff. Um, they're all social media. Yep, and that's another thing too. This is the most photograph. Yeah, and I totally agree. I agree with you. It is. I mean, social media has really changed a lot. It has really changed society a lot. I mean, social media was not something that we had growing up. Hold on, I'm just moving my laptop here a little bit, because I had you guys on a stand, and sorry, I know you guys see the glare. There you go. This is much better. Yeah, I mean, I did not grow up with social media. You know, so, but yeah, this generation is very, very, very different. We see a lot of the glare from the lights upstairs and stuff. It is very different. It's like their whole lives are out there, right? And stuff. So it's we're in different times now and stuff. It's like privacy is no longer anything anymore, you know? I wanted to participate, but I'm still dealing with my sister's stroke. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Marcia. But you know, I'll be doing the Christmas one too. And there's going to be plenty more coming in the future. So don't worry, you know, because everybody loves doing these things. So I'm definitely going to have more. Let's see. Take care of yourself. Last year I had to drop out because we had challenges here. Yeah. I have to, yeah. And you know, the older you get, the worse it can sometimes be. You know? She does a lot of videos on the tulip. Okay. All right. Angela Wolf. Oh. Yep, there you go, Ozzy. Angela Wolf, an expert in embroidering on tulip. And it looks like a lot of people watch her. I never watched her. She does a lot of embroideries on tulip. Oh, maybe I need to watch her too. I need to watch her then. And stuff. Does anyone know what her channel is called? His Iris is asking. Iris is asking. Yeah, maybe it's by her name, Angela Wolf. Maybe that's her, for years. She does a lot. Yep, so I'm going to watch her now. Let me see. I'm going to write that down because I wonder what kind of embroidery she does. and stuff. I love watching the channels that actually like teach stuff. I think those are like, to me, like the best because they give you like so many good ideas on how to perfect the craft and stuff. So it's like, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And stuff. Oh, there's new comments in there. She's a brother ambassador. Just Google her on YouTube or Facebook. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, so she does brother machines. Well, then that's good because those are the ones that I like. Well, that's the machines that I use. I like brothers. For some reason, they just work for me and stuff. So, guys, I am going to call it the night. I know this is... I feel like this night just flew by. Okay? I mean, and I think it's because the project was so quick. I really do and stuff. But I'm going to call it the night, guys, because I am a little exhausted. I woke up really early because I had to work, come home, and do all this stuff. And I had construction folks over here. So, and I already see Mel giving me the eye about he's tired because when we have folks in the house working and stuff, he's like working full time protecting the house. So he's a handful, that one, I tell you. But guys, I really do hope that you guys like that idea on the shoelaces. Give it a shot. And you know, if you try this, put the pictures on Facebook and stuff, because I would love to see how they came out. If you guys use like a script font or something different, that would be really cool. Or if you try different colors, that'll be cool too. So I hope you like the project this weekend and stuff. This I think was really, I really like the way it came out. It came out really nice. But like I said, two things I would have done different. I would have used the water soluble stabilizer so that it could have gave it a little more of a lift. And I probably would have picked a better looking font, okay? Because the D looks exactly like the O. Because I did double check. I did type D. It didn't come out that great. So I would have changed it to, I would have selected another font to make it look better. Or, if Woods was gonna the D and the O wasn't gonna really look too different, I probably should have just did his initials, which would have been the F and the W. That's what I should have done then. I should have just did his initials and it would have been fine, and stuff. But overall, though, for the first time doing this, I don't think it came out that bad. And I think the process was pretty easy. So I think this was a pretty good one. I liked it. It's really different, okay? So anyway, guys, hope you liked today's project. You guys take care, and I will see you guys next Friday, as always, to talk about Embroidery Happy Hour. So this month, I've done 2 projects. And I think next week, I'll probably pick a topic, and I was probably thinking of maybe talk to you guys about some products, some embroidery products and stuff, because Amazon Prime is coming up. It's coming up July 16th and 17th. So I wanted to probably go over some of the stuff that I have used that maybe you guys would be interested in or might need and stuff like that. So that way you guys can keep an eye out if they have any deals under some of those products. So I think next Friday night, we'll just do some online shopping together to look at different products, and then maybe we can talk about them. If I'll show you what I use, and you can let me know if you used it, if you liked it, you didn't like it, and stuff like that. Did you get the best bang for your buck, or even if you found it somewhere else cheaper? Let's talk about that too, because we're all about saving money, right? I mean, we don't have to buy from Amazon if Amazon doesn't have the best prices. Because the way I look at it is just getting what you need at the best, getting the best value for the most of your money. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So anyway, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy. And, have fun with those machines. So I will talk to you guys next Friday. Talk to you later. Have a good evening. Bye.